Civilization Restart series. And while a war breaks out, and the first part of it is the Pink Nation launches an invasion against this empire and takes some key areas and then quickly takes over their puppets. And quickly moves down the coast, linking these two areas together. And this is what their empire looks like. But quickly, Germany says no. Not Germany. Germany doesn't exist. Quickly, the Orange Empire says no. And they launch a full-on skirmish attack. And they quickly move up and seize some areas. As they see how dangerous one nation has become, they see this nation join in. And this nation over here decides it's time to join in as they launch an offensive here. With the Pink Nation pushing them south out of their northern areas. The Pink Nation succeeds in that. And with a re-liberation campaign over here, quickly they move the front to look like this, with them in victory closer on the scale. With this nation here being in a weak position, as this nation lands over here. And quickly they launch an offensive to meet these two fronts up, with them trying to hold back over here. With this nation seeking revenge. And it goes well. With this nation aligning with them. And then they launch an offensive over here. Yes, the purple nation's involved. But with support getting here, they manage to move an offensive over here, solidifying purple control in the north. Both sides want full control over this region. This nation launching an offensive over here, while this nation starts an offensive over here. With managing to launch an attack into these puppets to re-liberate the land of the empire that was over here. But in doing this, they managed to move forces over here. And as you can see, the front line is kind of staling out in a stalemate. And they come in from over here. As they head towards the capital, which is over there, this nation manages to take it first. And from this direction, the forces move in like this. With them both having a nation they want to re-liberate. No one is anywhere near decisive. Neither side's close to a decisive victory. So while there's one nation, this nation gets angry trying to re-liberate the nation that was there, and launches an offensive over here, as they decide to launch a naval landing over here to see what would happen. And they manage to take a big chunk, but this nation doesn't surrender. Oh no, decising. As the front line over here moves to the south. And with this nation launching a naval landing over here. And over here, this nation's forced back to here. A more defensive position, but they start losing land over here. And neither side is going to be able to carry off a big victory until this nation seizing the opportunity to gain lands over here. believes they can gain more lands joining that side than that side. And so they invade, as this side offers them more land along here, whereas this side offered them a small amount of land over here. So they choose the side that offered them more. And well, they have to withdraw all the way to the Pyrenees Mountains, whatever they call it. And well, over here, they get pushed back to a more mountainous position, as the end for them is beginning. As this nation pushes towards the coast, before finally they manage to have a breakthrough over here. And this nation crosses the mountains. And then this nation finally liberates their lands. But on the other front, they're thinking of holding and thinking of surrender. And well, over here on the coast gets taken by them. This area falls. And then they decide to surrender. And we're going to leave that there just so I can bring back that color. With this nation launching an offensive over here to take some key areas and try to take more access to this water. Unfortunately, as they advance towards it, they fail. But in the north, they have success in their offensive. And then they start an offensive over here. And at this moment, the Pink Empire decides to surrender. So let's look at the peace treaty. Partition. A bit of land goes to that puppet, then this nation annexes a bit of land over here. And they puppet this nation, the empire, with the northern part of their empire being taken by the Orange Nation, and this part, the coast, being taken by this nation, along with that part of there. And as you can see, Germany makes a few puppets, 4 to be exact, and expands in the lands that were taken in the last part. And then they take the northern parts, they take a bit of land along here, not too much, same with them, and not too much for them. And well, that nation pretty much left unharmed. And well, where's a good spot to go to? This nation having some problems. And that leads to a bit of unrest. With this area full of areas that want independence. Which leads to a brief civil war against rebels. And they seize the coast quickly, with heavy fighting happening, though they seize the advantage. And quickly, they manage to occupy this much. And with the rebels showing victory, they decide to negotiate with the rebels. And all they want is independence. So let's see how the independences go. It's not just small areas. There's a lot of areas that want independence. This area. And this nation. This nation over here. This nation, we can call it the coast, I guess. That's not its name. And then this nation, which has access to this. And this area is 2. And over here we have a nation there. And as you can see, there's a bunch of independences. And the best way to deal with it is giving them a bunch of colors. Because why not? This area. Yeah, that came too many colors, but it's not a big deal. Too many of the same colors. But with all these new nations, war breaks out because 2 of them aren't big fans of each other. This nation isn't a fan of the other for existing, that's why. because they see it as part of their country. Oh, that's weird. How'd that nation end up the same color? And well, this nation surrenders. And now this nation doesn't do anything else, basically. And now to go to this nation. Who decides to invade this nation? The rest of the way. Even though other nations probably aren't a fan of this. And well, this was annexed. With this nation going to war. With it being over here. And it takes a while. But eventually they push through over here and push them out. And after this, they invade over here. And quickly they occupy this area. With them going along the coasts. Seeing the Green Nation as a weak nation. But they do manage to win. And in the peace treaty, they get the island back, which would be Sicily to us. I don't know what they called in this timeline. Now to do this. And well, and they annex this. Yes, a sliver of land. Most people will call it. With them expecting they can get a minor victory that'll give them some ghost back. And they decide to go over here. With it not going very well, so they incite some rebellion. And this is in the lands most supportive of them. With them breaking through. With them unable to advance for a while. They decide to meet for a peace treaty. And they get not that much, but they get key lands. These lands. And while this nation can already tell it's weakening. And to make this area less likely to revolt, they give them some lands to expand their strength. And as they see this nation in the north is a danger to them. And well, that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys.